Hi there. In this video we'll be covering, can a self-published book become a bestseller? As someone who's worked on 4 different best-selling books, I can definitely say yes, but there's caveats. Let's explore the different ways to become a bestseller. By the end of this video, you will learn the truth about bestseller lists, why they aren't all the same and why some of them are kind of scammy. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. Ultimately, there are 2 ways to become a bestseller. One is to sell lots of copies of your book, and the other is to buy your way onto the list. And it really depends on what you want to do to become a bestseller. I've worked on 4 different best-selling books at this point, and they all have had different paths to reaching the bestseller list. Some of them, the authors actually worked with marketers, book promoters. And these promoters will take tens of thousands of dollars and they will email a list of people. And the people on this email list are told, use this gift card I'm giving you to go buy a copy of this book in this specific week, this specific time frame. And if enough people do that, the book can wind up on national bestseller lists. There's a well-proven formula to going about doing this. And some of the bestseller lists operate on that model. So this is a well-proven process, and I've seen it happen again and again and again. Some authors will just want to be a national bestseller. They will want to be on, the USA Today bestseller list, and they will pay money to get on that list. It's not necessarily knocking it, it's just the recognition that they paid their way on, and this is part of the process. The other option, of course, is selling lots and lots of copies of your book, which I've seen as well. If you have a really good week and things hit the right way, you could find yourself on a bestseller list. And there are bestseller lists that are reflective of sales. I think back to one of the books I worked on. It was Jonathan Stanley's Purposeful Performance, and it sold 10,000 or more copies within a week because of a viral TikTok video and the momentum that built because of it. And Jonathan found himself number 9 on Amazon's top 20 list, Amazon's best-selling list for a specific week in paperback nonfiction, which was awesome. It was amazing to see. It was genuine, authentic sales. These are people who saw him on TikTok, saw him on national media coverage and said, I want to go buy the book. So they went out and bought lots and lots of copies of the book. It sold out on Amazon. It was incredible. It was so cool to see that. And it was so authentic. There wasn't any money involved. It was simply people buying the book. So it was neat to see both of those processes play out. And even though there's these different paths with different ways of becoming a bestseller, it's still special to see that within a certain week, X number of people bought this book. It's definitely a feather in your cap, and it's definitely a great opportunity. But there's different ways to get there. There's something else to keep in mind, though, that every bestseller list has a different formula. They all operate a little bit differently. Some of them are based on sales. Some are based on a unique system of different sellers from different places. The New York Times bestseller list is interesting in this way. It is a hidden secret formula. It's like the ingredients to Coca-Cola. Like, you don't actually know. Like, you can kind of guess, but you don't actually know exactly what's in it. And for that reason, the New York Times bestseller list is kind of a joke. Like, I think it's a joke. As an author, I don't think it's reflective of actual book sales. And there's been articles to this effect that it's based on specific sales at specific bookstores and specific sales channels, and you have to have sales within specific categories. Most of the time, these books are traditionally published. It's very difficult to have a self-published book on the New York Times bestseller list because it's not actually reflective of real sales. It's reflective of what the New York Times thinks is sales-worthy. So they will promote books within their interests, and they will promote books that they think are meaningful to readers and that are selling at specific bookstores. And some people know what these bookstores are. I don't really know them. But at the same time, people think of the New York Times bestseller list as the be-all, end-all, and it's like, it's not really it. Like, it's very tough to say that this is the be-all, end-all, even though people really hold that in high regard. When you're a New York Times bestseller, it is the ultimate respect for an author. But again, it doesn't really reflect book sales. So my friend Jonathan, he sold all these copies of his book in a specific week, but because they were mostly on Amazon and because he was a self-published book without a lot of store sales, he wasn't on the New York Times bestseller list, even though he outsold some of the books on that list. So it's you kind of just shrug your shoulders when you think about these bestseller lists and think about the luck involved and think about the fact that it's not always reflective of what you're actually selling. There's also perennial books that are left off that list. There's other books that are left off for other reasons. So I know that the New York Times bestseller list has cachet value. With all these bestseller lists, it's really important to think about the fact that it's exciting, it's special. Like, these books sold well for this specific time period. It's possible to be a national bestseller. Whether it's on the New York Times bestseller list or not, so be it. Like, being a self-published bestseller is amazing. It is something to separate you from the pack. It's something that tells you that your book has hit some level of message. It tells you that this book has resonated or that you paid money for it. Either way, it's resonated somehow with an audience, whether or not it's artificially created, whether or not it's self-funded, whether or not it's genuine and authentic. It's connected in some way. It is a great feather in your cap. So I don't want to disparage anybody's efforts of getting on the bestseller list. I know why people do it. It is what it is. Like, it's an exciting thing. And the ultimate thing that you can do to get on these bestseller lists is write a book that resonates. Write a book with a great message. Bring your heart and soul into this book. Do your best to position it. Do your best to promote it. Keep putting yourself out there, and good things can happen. This isn't just about putting out the book and just, oh, go on, see what happens. This is really about being active. You're an active participant in the book promotion process, and you're bringing your heart and soul into this. And if you can do that, and if you can keep carrying forward, and you can keep believing in this message, good things can happen. If you want to learn more about can a self-published book become a bestseller, I definitely want you to watch another video I recorded. I'll link to it on the screen. It's called, Is Writing a Book Worth It? In that video, I cover all the doors that can open from writing a book and just how awesome it is to be able to bring your message forward. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.